Welcome to Murders and Minivans, where the coffee is cold, the kids are wild, and the crimes are absolutely unhinged. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Tali. Let's talk murders, motherhood, and why we trust absolutely no one.
I'm so mad at you.
She's very... The mood when she walked in was tangible. I'm like, there's something here.
Hostile. No, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
That's worse. Oh my God.
No, I watched that horrible Netflix documentary that you walked me through yesterday, and so I was able to watch it this morning. Neil had the kids out. And oh my, she is such a terrible human being.
Yeah.
And there is zero sympathy. Like I taught elementary school and I did social work, and being a parent has just hardened me. So whatever little bits of sympathy I used to carry, or at least pretend to carry, gone. And this woman, gone.
Decimated it.
Like I shut it off at the end. I think I told you the last 7 minutes, because I didn't care what her reasoning was. In no way ever should someone's trauma enable them to cause harm.
No, I
it
agree.
is never a justification.
I agree wholeheartedly. It pisses me off when people say, I won't say names, but there was a husband of sorts in my life that was not my husband. Oh, that makes it sound like it was my husband.
Yeah. A friend of a friend.
It was a husband that I knew of someone else. And this person had constantly used their traumatic childhood and anxiety, mental health problems, which are all very valid, but he used those as a weapon and as an excuse to treat people poorly and ruin people's days and things that we did together as a friend group.
Yeah.
Not okay. You gotta fix it. Everybody has shit in the back of their head. Everybody has trauma, but you gotta, especially when you have kids.
Oh, I know.
I started going to therapy when I was pregnant with P. So 2016. Oh my God, it's so long ago. And then with C, I even went to therapy with her and right after, because it brings stuff up and you need to deal with it, and I need to be a better parent.
Yep.
Because it's not their fault. And Kendra missed the mark.
Yeah, she did not take responsibility for her shit. And it just doesn't give you a hall pass. And again, I'm not saying you can't have trauma. Everybody has trauma. Everybody. And if you say you don't, it's probably your trauma talking.
Yes. Yeah.
But it is not a hall pass to be a shitty human being. And so that was my main problem, is that I just don't care. I wanted to give kudos, though, to Sean, her, I hope now, ex-husband. I didn't see an update on that.
I feel like they are divorced.
But I really liked at the end there when he was being told by the police officers what was happening, and he shut it down. He just had her removed from the property. And I respected him that he said, you need to leave now, because if the police leave now and something bad happens, our daughter's going to be taken away.
Yeah.
That would be how I would respond.
100%.
You are out of here.
Yeah.
You've done this to our family, especially finding out she lied for a year about being fired from 2 jobs, if she even had those 2 jobs to begin with, because her cousin wasn't convinced of the one that she even had that job. Ooh, man, this girl is nutty.
There's and just her lack of remorse too,
yes,
is very.
Her eyes were just dead.
Yeah.
Oof. Eerie.
Yeah. I don't know. And there was I can never remember the name of this documentary, but it's on Discovery Channel, and I'll put it in the notes once I remember it. And this lady had basically found out that she had a very terrible divorce, and she had remarried, and it's always a charismatic guy. She had found this guy, started dating him. He's very charismatic, and he was just a pillar of the community. He was the football coach. People adored him. Their house was the house to hang out in. And then they had started a business. Actually, he was so charismatic that somebody gave him a business. I should do a podcast episode on this. But somebody had given him the business. He was running it. The wife was helping him run it. Oh, and sorry, another backstory is the wife had a 15-year-old girl, and then I think they had 2 more kids together or something like that.
Oh, wow.
It was a blended family.
Mm-hmm.
And basically he said, hey, can you open my laptop and can you send me this? And she sent him the file, and for some reason, something in her, like, women's intuition is very powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something in her said, hey, open up on Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma Stephanie. I'm just kidding. On Mac.
You're not. You're spot on.
I say it with love. On Mac, you can go, and Apple, you can go into like a recently deleted photos.
Mm-hmm.
So she went into recently deleted photos, and she had found 600 photos of underage girls.
Oh, gross.
I'll let you finish that.
Yeah.
But she basically slammed the laptop. It was the whole thing, and she was so messed up from it. She kicked him out, took him back in, kicked him out, took him back in. Horrible. But then, like, she kind of talks through it, and I do, for her, I feel very sympathetic. Can I understand taking him back? No.
Mm-mm.
It's never happened to me.
Low self-esteem. But the stats are, when you're fleeing abuse, it takes 11 attempts. Could you imagine 11 attempts?
And the last time is, like, always when you physically leave the house, it's the most dangerous time. Yeah. So many stories about that. But, yeah, no, I agree. I think here Sean did the right thing. Mm-hmm. And 100% what I would do. Very rarely do I watch documentaries like this, and I applaud, like, what has happened by the spouse. Yeah, the partners. Some spouse reactions, like I just mentioned, are hard to understand. Mm-hmm. And even the documentary, they say, like, their marriage had been strained. Yeah. Because of this. And I'm like, what? I want to know a reason. I'm sure Lauren wants to know a reason. Like, what? Besides mental illness, what is the actual freaking reason? Yeah. Well, like, and I liked that the lawyer was discussing a little bit about it, because in the grand scheme of things, this was over the course of just under 2 years. Mm-hmm. But then it's going to impact all of those children forever. Forever. These are formative years. It was so severe. But then her daughter, by the end of the documentary, was talking about wanting to have a relationship with her mother again. Yeah. And I just think that is so inappropriate. But at what point, when she reaches adulthood, like, you no longer have a say. So it's tricky, limiting her access. Well, she's an adult now. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I think it's hard. Because, like I said last episode, I don't talk to my mom. Mm. But I know so many people that talk to their moms. And I'm like, and their moms have done horrible, horrible things. Mm-hmm. Nothing on this level. But I think that's a very tough relationship. And there's some moments where I'm like, I mean, I had a mental lapse last year where I tried to talk to her. Mm-hmm. Didn't work. Yeah. So it's like there always is some sort of wanting to. I think you want that maternal connection. Yes. And you want it, and, like, you see your friends who are close with their moms, and you're like, well, damn, that stings. Yeah. Or even, like, because you always think you can try harder. Yes. Mm-hmm. Still, at my ripe age, like, I think that maybe I did something wrong, you know? Yeah. And it's like, Brian's parents are very supportive, and they love him very much. And I'm always like, what is that like? Yeah. Like, that must just feel so good. Yeah. Like, you must be so warm and fuzzy inside, because I'm an ice axe. I don't know how else to describe my insides, but like, I think it's tough. I think that's probably why she wants to talk to her mom. There's always going to be that. No, that's fair. The cynical side of me says that'll change. Oh, see, in social worker Stephanie, people don't change their, like, once they're terrible, they're always. No, I meant Lauren. Like, Lauren's. Yes, I think as she develops, because her mother will always be manipulative. That is crazy. And I feel bad for her that she doesn't have, like, siblings to. Oh, I know. Yeah, to spread out the crazy. Yeah. She just gets the full brunt of it. Yes. So I hope. It sounds like she has a very good support network. Like, her dad is amazing. Oh, yeah. And he deserves an award of some sort. Yes. And I'm sure that she has. All his bills paid. Right? Oh, that poor guy. I hope Netflix paid him. I hope so. They must have. And I hope she didn't get a dime. I doubt that she wouldn't. And, like, also, what are you doing for work? I wondered that too, because I'm like,
He looked like labor of some sort.
Yeah,
like
it would
some sort of
have
construction
to be,
or something.
It would have to be something.
Yeah, something like that, where he's busy all day and comes home and is just tired.
Yeah.
Because when he came with the video recording, he was in like...
Oh, sorry, no, I meant Kendra. Like, I wonder what she's doing now. Like, now that she's out of jail, like, funding her life.
I don't know, because I would hope there would be conditions on her release about technology.
I think so. I think there were.
Was it at the end of the video that I didn't watch?
Probably.
Oh, okay.
But I just too wonder, like, who you're unhireable at that point.
Yeah, I would say.
Like, if there's something like that, like, you could be fired for less.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be hard for you to get a job. So how are you... I don't know. These are just things I wonder about.
No, and that's fair. Because in my professional experience, working with people who were accused of having access to underage pornography on their phones and laptops, you are not allowed, even in a building that has internet. Like, all the screens must be turned away from you. Everything is turned off. You are supervised one-on-one. If you even get to say goodbye to your kids before you go to jail. And that is a big if, because very rarely does that happen. Like, in those cases, like, you can't go to a cafe. You can't, because it has access to internet, screens, and children. Like, to a library to get free Wi-Fi to send an email, it's not happening. You have to go directly into, like, your lawyer's office, for example, or it's prearranged that you meet at, like, the social work offices or the RCMP station. Like,
did you have to do this?
I didn't have to do it directly. It wasn't my client.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense to me. Like, that's how it should be. Actually, they should be in jail for longer, and I think things should happen to them that I can't say.
Well, that's why you kind of hope that it's like jail justice, like playground justice.
Oh,
like,
God, I just
sort itself out.
Even worse in my mind. Just as a parent, I'm like, I would go to prison.
Well, there are cases in the States where, like, the dad came in and saw someone with his underage daughter, and he killed him.
Yeah,
and the judge was like, "Of course you did. He was abusing your daughter in front of you, and you found him." Like, and so they would do a minimal sentence, but it's Canada is different, so it can be very tricky. And whether or not you agree to it, like, it is very tricky. But I can see how, if I ever saw anything happen to my children, lights out. Like, it is just. Yeah. I've talked to Neil. Like, if one of us is going to go to jail, I'll do it, because I will.
100%.
Yeah.
Same. I think maternal rage is a real thing.
Oh yeah.
Not saying that, like, paternal rage is not. There's something, like, when they come from you.
Yeah. No, there's a little bit of a snap that happens, I feel like.
Yes.
Like, Neil, we joke, he's a bit slower to respond to things, but it's because he's thinking them out first. And I just snap decision. And then, but I'll stubbornly stick to my snap decision.
Same.
Yeah, but I've really stretched this conversation out, because this is going to be my contribution. So this is the minivan section of Murders versus Minivans, because I found this case interesting too, because when my sister-in-law was up, I think it was around Easter. Yeah, they come up for Easter every year. We watched that Ruby Frank. We watched her special. I think it was on Amazon, I believe, and it was a 4-parter, and it was so rough that I only watched 3 of the 4 parts, but I got the gist.
It's so bad.
It is so bad. So if you're not familiar, she was a YouTube influencer talking a lot about her lifestyle. Her family was Mormon, so she had religion tied in there, and she often shared her parenting hacks. But as time wore on, I don't know what happened, if she just slipped mentally, I don't know what happened, but she became convinced that her children and her now ex-husband were possessed by the devil. So they were evil.
She met that girl, that lady.
Yes.
Whatever her name is.
Who had like zero...
She's a psychologist.
It was a psychologist, but she wasn't allowed to practice in certain states. Like, she had her license revoked in certain states. And they ended up
Which, as a parent, is that not a red flag?
Oh,
like, I would never take my kids to... If they were having behavior issues, I'm not going to go on Google and type in psychologists who lost their licenses.
Yeah, I would type in the person's name immediately, because it would all be attached.
Exactly.
And so you hope you're bringing them to someone reputable. But this also ties in nicely to that Catfish, the unknown number special that we just talked about, because in that instance, the husband was extremely submissive. And so when the wife flipped her crazy switch and approached the husband and said, the devil's inside of you, you need to leave, he left his children with this crazy human. So I just found the responses very different and very interesting. And I didn't respect him because he didn't fight hard for his children. I just don't understand that. I don't understand being so blind by even your partner that your critical thinking skills just like shut down. And you're like, no, you're right. I probably do have the devil inside of me. You're right. I masturbated once. Like, that's it.
That was it. Like,
it was it. It was
like you watched porn
him
once.
and the son, and they both moved out.
Yeah.
Like, it was horrendously heartbreaking.
Yeah.
To see that happen to a family. And I just didn't understand. I have a visceral need to take care of my children.
Yeah.
And I don't understand when the crazy switch happens.
Well, like her punishment in the, I don't know if that documentary touched on the punishment.
It did a little bit, but I forgot it because I was just so disgusted.
Oh, it was just terrible. I think she had made them wear like sweatsuits because they lived in Arizona. Like,
and she locked some of the kids in the basement, and the one
with
escaped.
duct tape. Yeah. And he escaped like emaciated with like duct tape around his. Yeah. I just don't. I don't know. I'm like, is this religious psychosis? Is this like, how do you get here? I just so badly want to understand the process of how people get here. Part of me wants to say that it's like, it's something pre-existing in your brain. There's always this like discussion in true crime land. Are you born a psychopath or do you become a psychopath? Is it nature versus nurture? And so there's like markers. So some people say, yeah, you're born a psychopath, or okay, let me rephrase this. You can be born a psychopath, but something along your formative years has to happen to you to basically activate it.
Yeah.
Which makes sense to me. But then I'm like, well, how many people are just like born psychopaths just walking around? Yeah. And then is there not something that can happen to you in adulthood that can, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't have an actual solution to this. This is just a topic. But it's just, I very badly want to know how you get here. And I hate so much that like kids are always at
receive the brunt of it.
Yeah. Like,
yeah, I agree. I think in each of these instances, it was interesting because they were both described as like outgoing and wanting attention. Like they both did unique things to get for attention. For the Lakari one, her cousin was talking about going on cruises with her, and she's like, if I were being interviewed, she'd be dancing over here to get your attention. And the same thing was said about that Ruby. There's some level of ego even between us, because we think everyone should be listening to us. So to record ourselves 100%. Talking and thinking we're hilarious, there's a piece of ego in there, but we're not insane. And so I feel like that was part of the Ruby case, like her ego getting herself on a YouTube channel. And then she got so popular, and then she was starting to lose it. Like I'm not saying that everyone who has a podcast or YouTube channel is crazy, but there's a level of ego there. You're already showing signs you need this attention. How am I going to get it? And so, like in that catfishing case, they were talking about Munchausen's by proxy. And so they were talking about it in forms of cyberbullying. One of the theories was her getting the attention from her daughter. So she was abusing her daughter so that her daughter would need her. Whereas it used to be like you're making your children sick so that they need you to care for them. Yeah. And so I feel like that's like, it's just a horrendously horrible thing. Mm-hmm. And so both of these women both did horrible things. And was that part of it? Then their kids needed them because you were abusing them so badly. But again, this is just a theory, not based on fact.
No, I know. And like nobody really understands or knows the theory. And I had something interesting to say, but it left my brain. Nobody actually knows what is the real theory.
Yeah, we can never dig into her brain and get the right answer.
I don't know. I wish we could. Mm-hmm. It doesn't. I think it's just hard to understand as like normal people. Yeah. But you're right. Oh, this is what I was going to say.
Excuse me.
The ego. Yes, and that's a thing that I noticed with like social media too. Mm-hmm. Is like social media influencers. Yeah. There's so many of them that will fake something to get more attention.
Yes, I've heard of that. Or like faking cancer is the big one.
Oh my God, there's so many that do that. Or there's like even like minor in the sense of faking cancer. Yeah. They will. It's like rage bait. they'll post something that they know is going to get people so riled up, and it's going to get them views and repost, whatever, all of these things, and they don't care.
Yeah.
Like, they don't
care. Because
you're
clicking on their stuff. Yeah, that makes sense.
And I'm like, how far gone do you have to be to do that? There's like a saying now where, like, I'm cringy, but I'm free, because people say you're cringy if you do stuff on the internet or whatever. And that's fine. This is probably cringy to some people on this podcast, and that I'm doing it, but that's okay.
Too bad.
I think there's a healthy level of being cringy, and then some people just take it so far, and I'm like, you're damaging your reputation so poorly.
Yeah.
And maybe some people that are young don't really understand that. Like, when they post stuff on the internet, I'm like, my employer, when I was hired on, did a full background check on me.
Yeah.
They did a social media check to make sure that I didn't post racist videos, or, like, like things like that. That's how common it is. And that, if you ever want a real job that is not YouTube or whatever, that's something you have to keep in mind. Well,
it's very common now. So when I was hiring, because I assisted with the hiring, I did the pre-hiring stuff when I was in social work, because I was helping manage 2 different sites. And one of the steps is to look them up on social media. So you're looking at Facebook and Instagram, and they're LinkedIn. Like, LinkedIn is how a lot of people get jobs now. But you want to see, like, we were hiring for social work. We need to make sure you're a reasonable human being.
Yeah, it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know, that kind of went off kilter there. Not really tangent, but
yeah. No, I think it was all on theme with what we were talking about. We were discussing the 2 moms,
and attention.
The dad's very different responses, how we felt about that. Yeah. But
hell yeah, Sean.
Yeah, good for you, bud. But
Alberta slipped out.
Well, on par with being possessed, we can talk about your section now.
Are you fading? Are you tired?
No, I think we covered everything.
Okay,
but yes, also there's chamomile. No, it isn't chamomile. I promised you it wasn't.
Okay, I think mine might have had chamomile, but I'm okay. Well, this is another re-record, but I think I did it right this time.
But we're learning.
We are learning. We're talking about Teresita Basa. I probably butchered that again, but that's okay. I will tell you now about the weirdest murder cases that you'll probably ever hear about. In Chicago in 1977, a quiet woman was murdered in her own apartment. It involved a stalled investigation and her coworkers claiming that she came back through possession to name her killer. Who was Teresita? Teresita Basa was born in 1929 in, Dumaguete City in the Philippines. She was the only child of Pedro and Socorro Basa, and she studied at Assumption College in Manila. Music was her passion. She was a very talented pianist, and she even went on to go to the Indiana University in the U.S. to get a master's in music. However, she ended up switching to something else. By the 1960s, she had moved again to the States, and then later she retrained in healthcare. She ended up becoming a respiratory therapist.
Ooh, good job.
Very in need now. Tangent. Her life was quite simple. She lived alone in an apartment 15B at 2740 North Pine Grove Avenue. Crazy when I was researching this that this address is just there.
It still exists? Like, people still... Well, I guess it's an apartment.
Typically when stuff like this happens, I think they kind of board over a room. Colleagues described her as very polite, reserved, quiet, studious, and not somebody that you would expect to end up at the center of a supernatural murder investigation. February 21st, 1977. The day had started out completely normal. She had worked her shift at the hospital, went home, and made a few calls. At 7:10 p.m., she had talked to somebody about theater tickets. Around 7:30, she was on the phone with her friend and coworker Ruth Loeb. They had talked for about 20 minutes, and Teresita said, "Oh, I have a guest here. I have to call you back." That was the last time anybody had heard her voice. By 8:40 p.m., neighbors had started to smell smoke. They had called the firefighters, and they had opened up the door and found the apartment was completely on fire. Under a burning mattress, they discovered Teresita's body. She had been stabbed once in the chest. She was completely nude, and it was staged to look like a sexual assault. The medical examiner said that there was actually no evidence of sexual assault, and the whole thing was staged. Her apartment was completely ransacked, and the only real thing that was missing was jewelry. Yeah. Police didn't really have a ton of leads right away. The only clue that they had gotten from things left in her apartment was a note in her diary that said, "Get theater tickets." There's two different stories about this, just a side note.
Yeah.
Some say diary, some say calendar.
Oh, but in some places they call a calendar a diary.
Yeah.
Like in England, they call it a diary.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll check my diary. Yeah.
Yeah. And it said, quote, "Get theater tickets for AS," unquote. And that was it. Obviously no fingerprints because of the fire, no witnesses, and no strong suspects at all. For months, the case had gone cold. The fire, like I said, destroyed evidence, and there was no motive, no suspect, no real leads beside the AS note. And then out of nowhere, things got weird.
Ooh, tell me.
Teresita's co-workers, Remy Chua, started having nightmares. She would wake up sweating, saying that a woman was begging for help. And at first she ignored it. Then one night at home, she fell into a trance. Her husband, Dr. Jose Chua, was sitting right next to her. In a low, strange voice, not her own, she said, "Doctor, I am Teresita Basa. Please help me. They have killed me."
I got chills.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Right? Jose thought that maybe it was stress from dealing with this at the hospital. She had been obviously thinking about this and she was a little bit overtired.
Mm-hmm.
But then it happened again. The second time, the voice got more specific and it named her killer, Alan Showery.
Wow. Yes.
Showery was not just some random guy. He had actually worked at Edgewater Hospital as a respiratory technician. Of course, his initials matched.
Mm-hmm.
The voice explained that he came to her apartment under the pretense of fixing her TV, but instead he ended up killing her and stealing her jewelry, which he then gave to his girlfriend.
Ugh.
Yeah. Imagine being the girlfriend.
Yeah, I don't want haunted jewelry. No thanks.
Yeah. And then came the third possession, and this one was very detailed. The voice listed out actual stolen jewelry, a jade pendant, a pearl cocktail ring, specific pieces that Teresita owned, and even named her relatives back in the Philippines who would confirm that those items were hers. Jose tested it. During one trance, he asked, "Who are you?" And in Tagalog, the voice replied, "Guys, I'm going to do my best. Ako'y Teresita Basa. I am Teresita Basa. Please, I'm so sorry. I for sure butchered that.
That's okay.
I did my best." Remy later said that she did not remember any of it once she woke up. And that was it for Jose. He could not keep it to himself anymore. Him and Remy went to the police, and terrified that they would be laughed out of the station. Again, remember this is like the 1970s.
Yeah.
And
world.
I can't even imagine doing that now in
No.
2025.
Mm-hmm.
Detectives Joe Stichula and Lee Epelin decided to check. They tracked down Showery's girlfriend, Yanka Kamluk. And guess what? She was wearing Teresita's jewelry.
Ooh.
The exact pieces that were described in the trances. She said that they were, quote, "belated Christmas presents." This is February.
Oh,
Unquote.
I'd be pissed. February is too long for belated Christmas presents.
And this is jewelry from a murdered woman.
Yeah.
But Teresita's family in the Philippines had confirmed that those were hers. And that actually finally gave police a real tangible lead with physical evidence.
Mm.
They had brought Showery in, and he obviously denied it at first. And then he confessed.
Wow.
Right away. It didn't last long. He said that he had stabbed Teresita and stripped her to stage a sexual assault, but then stole her jewelry and set fire to destroy the evidence. So, like, literally exactly what
With the
she's saying.
possessed, yeah. Yikes.
Blows my mind.
That's amazing.
I know.
What it would be the motive even? Like why? Just some
I
nice
don't know.
jewelry? Fell into a rage? Like you're going to help with a TV.
I tried so hard to find something here that was like an actual reason, and there's like theories about it, about like what could have been done. Like there's theories about an argument. I don't know if you remember the first time we recorded this episode, but there was theories about an argument that they had at work, or there's like speculation, was never confirmed, that she had maybe complained about Alan at work.
Oh, maybe.
So something like that, just work related. I'm like, what? Why do you? Again, why?
Yeah.
I just have such a hard time understanding people. Showery ended up later recanting the actual confession, saying that the confession was coerced. He claimed police threatened to arrest his pregnant girlfriend.
I didn't know she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's got to baby somewhere.
Ugh.
if he didn't confess. His defense hammered the supernatural angle, saying, quote, "Never in my knowledge has a man been arrested because of a vision," unquote. The first trial actually ended in a hung jury because the jury obviously could not agree. How do you try to agree? Like, how do you sit on a jury? For me, easy yes. If somebody's like, I was possessed, yep, done. Believe
Probably
you.
were.
He's guilty.
I don't know. I hope I never have to make those sorts of decisions.
You don't want to be on jury duty?
I don't think I could handle the responsibility. Well, at least in Canada, they don't have death sentence.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I don't know if I could handle the details of a live murder. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like learning about it in real time. Here are all these pictures of these horrible things. Here's the evidence. I don't know how I would cope.
I could do it.
I know you could. I'm sure you would.
Yeah.
Be like, I'll do another round. Sign me up right now.
But before the retrial, on February 23rd, 1979, he had actually switched and pled guilty to murder, robbery, and arson. He only was sentenced to 14 years.
Ugh. After lying about it, too.
I know. Humans really disappoint me.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the kicker. He ended up serving 5 years.
Ew.
By 1983, he was out on parole. And then he basically vanished. There's some reports saying that he had moved to New York. Others say that he just lived quietly under the radar. Again, I don't know how you do that. No big public record of what had happened to him afterwards. And I think that's the beauty of the 70s. Because
Just disappear.
you can just go away.
I want to know about the pregnant girlfriend.
It might be in here. I can't even remember anymore.
Okay.
But this is a detail that I should have researched because I looked through this and I'm like, Stephanie will not ask me any questions. I've added so many details in here.
There's nothing left to ask.
And you, every time.
I don't think you said she was pregnant the first time we recorded this.
She didn't. So I was like, great, new detail.
Yeah, fun.
Didn't think that through.
Yeah, what if his spawn is out there somewhere?
Well, it is.
Or is it?
I would assume that if the girlfriend had any sense about her, she probably gave the baby her last name.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
There's a few other details that I had scrounged up that make this case even stranger.
Excellent.
Teresita's father had brought her some of the jewelry in France, which is why her family could identify it so easily. During the hearings, the judge said that it didn't matter if police believed the, quote, voice, unquote, but what mattered was the tip that led to the actual verifiable evidence. Great judge.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Reporters at the time dubbed it the, quote, voice from the grave, unquote, case, and it was splashed across headlines such as the Washington Post.
Wow.
Remy supposedly had no memory of her trances, and in Filipino culture, spirit possession isn't always dismissed as crazy. It's part of spiritual tradition, which may be why Remy herself didn't reject what was happening.
Ooh, interesting. I like that cultural slant.
Yes. Remy and Shari, like I said, did not get along at work. He had reportedly criticized her job performance. So, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
She had criticized, apparently, and then he had. There was workplace tension that people did attest to.
Okay.
After the case, stories circulated that Teresita's ghost was even seen haunting Edgewater Hospital. I think it's probably pretty common.
It's a big part of your life. And it sounds like Teresita, she had retrained to be a respiratory therapist, so she was passionate about it, I would think. It would be my assumption from this story.
It's hard.
So you'd maybe want to stay if that's all you had? Because she wasn't involved with anyone. It wasn't in the story anyway.
No, not that I could find.
So if that's what you got.
Yeah. So Edgewater Hospital had gone on to become notorious years later for fraud and malpractice scandals.
Ooh.
So the haunted hospital aura of it had just gotten stronger, and it kind of fueled the rumors as well. There was even a made-for-TV movie about this, which I wish I watched this before I did this again for the second time. Third time's the charm? No, just kidding. Based on the story, it was called Voice from the Grave.
I don't know if I want to write that down. I picked up my pencil. I'm like, maybe. No, I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, she's going to watch it?
But you watch and let me know.
Sure. Made for TV movies in the 90s.
I liked them. Yeah.
Yeah, right? They're so good.
They're so good.
I love cheesy 90s movies.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Yeah, they're my jam.
What do we make of it? So I guess without the possession episodes, this case might have just completely gone unsolved. The stolen jewelry was the hard evidence that nailed Showery, but investigators wouldn't have gone looking for it without Remy's trances. Skeptics think that Remy probably heard gossip at the hospital. Maybe somebody mentioned seeing Showery with the jewelry. Maybe she connected the AS note and her subconscious turned it into these dramatic visions. This sounds like something a husband would say. Believers, they say Teresita herself wasn't going to rest until her killer was exposed. That's what I want to believe. But either way, this is one of the strangest true crime stories out there. And we had asked last weekend at C's birthday party when we all stayed up far too late.
Yeah.
Far too late, 10 p.m.
Right on time, some would say.
Yeah. We had told the husbands about this case, and I said, Brian, would you believe me if, for example, Stephanie was murdered? Knock on wood.
Thanks.
And she had possessed me, and I said who the killer was. And he said it. He said in front of everybody with his full chest, no.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I'm giving you tangible evidence, details, things that I could just never possibly know. And he said, no. And
Neil said no, but I think it was a front to look cool in front of Brian, because I am positive, like there have been enough small instances in our lives, whether it was my intuition or what, and at first he wouldn't believe me, and then he started to trust it because they panned out enough, that I think if I haunted you and gave you very specific details that no one else would know, he would believe you.
So I guess lesson here is, like, if you are knock on wood murder, I'll just go to Neil with my possessions.
Yeah.
Because and I will not tell Brian, because he'll put me in a psychiatric facility. Hospital.
But I think it helps that every once in a while I just remind Neil that I will haunt him and there's no moving on for me. Like, just if you really solidify that, he will believe.
I try, and I even, like, he's so anti-believer. That's when it was hard for me to relate to, because I'm like, I would be put into, like, mental health facility for sure. Like, I would have to go straight to somebody else. So moral of the story is, if you're close to me and something tragic happens to you, don't possess me, because it's only going to make things worse. Possess somebody whose spouse is a believer.
Like Stephanie.
Yes.
But, like, we don't have to possess me. Like, you could just go possess adjacent and I would help you out.
It'd be cool.
Like, I'll help you out.
Yeah, but it's the same with, like, I think loved ones who passed away visiting you in your dreams. Yes. And them telling you that they're okay.
Yeah.
It's very similar. Like, I really don't think that this is a far thing that happens. Like, I think, and it started off with her dreams. I don't think that this was, sure, if you look at it from, like, maybe a scientific point of view, it could explain it that her subconscious turned it into something, but I just don't think so. Like, I think that's such a reach. I believe in ghosts, so I don't know. Do with that information what you will.
And at the end of the day, they solved her murder.
Yeah.
So
if it's, who cares?
Yeah.
But yeah, I love getting dreams from loved ones that have passed on. I think it's very comforting. And, you know, like, even my mom, I said it earlier in the episode, I don't talk to her. She had a couple instances herself where my grandmother had passed on that side, would, like, come to her in her dreams. And I remember she would tell me this when I was young. And my grandma would come to her in the dreams and say something about the family. And then my mom would be like, well, grandma visited me and she said that this would happen. And I was like, okay, whatever, loon. Because I think I was, like, an angry teen.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
And I was like, I doubted it, and then it ended up coming true, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So I think, like, there's some validity. Not that that's science at all, but...
No, I think so.
You should follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You should like us. You should rate and review us. Follow us on Instagram, too.
Yeah.
Got, like, 10 followers. I hope by the time this episode airs, we have 20.
Yeah, but don't prove her husband right and follow us on YouTube. We just cannot even.
I don't think we're even on YouTube.
There you go. So I'll just delete that.
YouTube is a husband exclusive thing. I've never been shown a YouTube video. A woman has never approached me and said, look at this YouTube video. Unless it's a movie trailer.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Movie trailers.
If I get assaulted by YouTube videos, by husbands only. Anyways, that's it. I guess we'll close it off.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening.